I guess I'm kind of the quasi-seller because she has development skills.
Awesome.
So, although my brain is a little fried.
Okay, I'll
Pounding
fill
this,
in.
and you can fill in. So basically, what we're trying to do is make an application which allows people to network and find things which they don't have. And we really have an emphasis on things that other people have, kind of an OSOB kind of, are you familiar with that type?
Yeah,
okay,
joking,
so like,
yeah,
like sharing and whatnot. Yeah. So, the kind of first layer is that, and so what it does is it searches, our user base for all the people who have whatever you might be looking for, and it might be goods, it could be services.
So like if you have something that you no longer want, and maybe somebody else may want it, you go and create a listing and be like, I have this.
Yeah.
And then somebody and people can search.
Yeah, and the great thing is about this is it actually, it's fairly flexible as well. So within services, it offers a flexibility that, for instance, if an elderly person needed, companionship, or if an elderly person needed something picked up, that could be put on there. That could be seen by, and it's all geolocated.
Yeah,
so these people, very, very important. Right? So all of these objects, all of these services, all of these needs, all the wants, and all the haves, they all have a rough address based on privacy settings. So if anyone needs something, their community can be aware of it, and that they can work together with a preference on sustainable reuse of things, and then following that, local businesses, and then following that, collaborations to acquire things which are kind of outside of most people's transportation, or those people's transportations, preferences or abilities, whether they might have cars or whatever the case may be, like an IQ run for whatever the case may be. No one wants to, because there's so many people who go places with absurdly large vehicles to get just a few things, and really if people could share on those sorts of things, traffic could be reduced. There's so many.
Yes, a ton of benefits. Yeah, totally.
So that's definitely one of the main things. So we're thinking about a user interface which has, for the most part, extremely simple and map dominated. So it would be nice just to have a very clean kind of a map with color points based on.
Yeah, we were thinking that when we create listings, there's a location that you enter in for your listing. So then I could create like a pinpoint on like a Google map. So then when you filter your listing, like I'm searching for like a table, then all the listings that has the word table in it you have your listing, and next would be a map that has the pinpoints per listing. And it would be color coded, so individuals would be like one color, retailers would be another color.
Awesome. So basically that's it. And I suppose at this point since we don't have a lot of structure built for this application, we're kind of curious on what design points do you think are the most important things to focus on?
Or how to make it very intuitive, simple, easy to use, yet very functional.
Sure. So anytime you're at this point, because you guys are super early, you want to think about the problem that you're solving for people, and how do you insert this into people's lives in a way that makes for value for them. So like you mentioned, Osobi is out there, FreeCycle is out there, Craigslist is out there. So what can you do to make it more simple for them? Like, would it be, there's a lot of ways you could think about this, because I think this is a really neat idea. Like, could you take it and say, oh, okay, this is a widget that you could insert within every block. So if somebody wanted to post something within every block, and that they had a table that would go, that they could use somehow, like you could partner with them, and then you could say, oh, okay, here's a little map widget that gets produced within every block that shows the location of this table, or shows some easy way for them to search from this site where they're already familiar with doing local stuff, to then bring them over to your experience. Because I think a lot of early venture stuff. So here, I'll just jot some stuff down real quick. Whiteboards. So early on, what you think of traditionally as sort of design kind of works down this kind of a solution. So it's framing, it's solving, it's sort of form and function, style, and then sort of nothing, right? And so it sounds like you guys have two legs of the stool, right? You've got tech and you've got the hustler, right? And now you need the designer, right? And
Yes.
so so what you need to figure out then is like, if this is sort of what traditionally when people call like look and feel, right? And then if here what you're talking about is more behavior, and this sounds like what you've already sort of thought about. So if people are on your site, it sounds like you know what they would be doing, right? Like, okay, we'll show them a map and we'll have the geolocated points, and we'll be able to sort of filter that list of points by the search that they've put in, so you get just kind of a faceted geolocated search. So that really narrows it down. So it sounds like you guys are getting pretty strong on this part. Some of the parts that you have to ask yourself, at least from what I'm hearing, is sort of this solving part.
Yes.
Right? So like, what are you solving? Yeah, like what are you doing that,
Needs to be done.
Yeah.
And isn't done already.
Yeah, there's a great line about selling, which is like, you need a hole in the ground, right? Now, there's a lot of products that can make that. If it's a big hole, you can get a backhoe. If it's a small hole, you can get a shovel. And if you're really desperate, you can just use your hand, right? But each one of those products solves that problem at a different price point in a very different way, with a different amount of effort from you. So if you figure out this part, what problem are you solving for people? So like you've got the benefit part with sustainability, right? You're saying like, if you do this, what you're saying is basically you're going to do things in a less intrusive way for the planet, or a less damaging way for the planet. So that starts to put you in a space then, again, with sort of free cycle, or OSOE, or a Craigslist. So what do you have that they don't?
Geolocation.
Communal errand run still.
Yeah, communal errand run geolocation.
Yeah, let's like using the